Hey guys, what is up? I really need to come up with a new intro and stop saying what is up, but what is up? My name is Marissa and I do videos right now mainly on mental health, spirituality, and my basic life things. But mainly at this very moment I'm on a very big mental health journey, and it kickstarted about 3 weeks ago when I decided that I needed to really create a program for myself to better myself even more. Mental health, I have realized, is a lot like fitness. You have to constantly work it out. You have to constantly get better. You have to constantly get stronger, and the easier and easier it becomes. So it's so similar to fitness. It's insanity, but there's not a lot of mental health workouts. And they're not even a thing. So that's where I decided I really wanted to come in and share my mental health journey and share the things I'm doing to better myself. I share a lot of that on my Instagram actually. I actually have a highlight with the mental health updates, and I just basically have been keeping everyone in tune with what I am doing and how I am changing my life, because I'm determined to live my best life in this lifetime. I'm not going to waste this lifetime on things like trapping myself in my own brain with a mental blockage, when we have the tools and the resources to be better and evolve from old ways and old patterns, and especially break vicious cycles that form in families. So here I am, trying to do that, hoping for the goddamn best. But today I was actually going through my YouTube channel because I'm reading this new book that I want to share with you guys. Ow. That is not soft. So I am reading this book. This is Marketing by Seth Godin. And I've actually never heard of this guy, but he kind of introduced himself in the beginning of this book. And it is literally life-changing. It is so on point to how you build a real, well, how you market, basically, your brand or whatever it is you're trying to do. And I have no idea what I'm trying to do with my life at this very moment. People will ask me, and I'm kind of just like, I work for the universe. And if you are in today's times, that sounds like a very cuckoo answer, and I definitely have people look at me like I'm crazy. But I know that I'm going to create something. I just don't know what exactly it is yet. So I'm reading a book like this to kind of give me a new direction. I've basically read so many self-help / spiritual books this year that I need to get back into like my business mindset. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad this year, and that was a great book. I highly recommend it for anyone that wants to learn more about business in a sense and your own personal finances. But I picked up this book, don't know why, don't even know the author, but it just stood out to me. And I normally will just pick the books that stand out to me the most, and of course this one is knocking me off of my feet and making me fall in love with books all over again, if that were not possible already. So I am on like chapter 6, and it is inspiring me so much, and it basically was talking about how you need to find an audience. And I was like, hey, I kind of already have one on YouTube. Well, you know, like I did this more so to connect with other people that are like me, because I'm in a world where I can't just go up to people and be like, hey, want to talk about depression today? Like, it's kind of like something I have to put out there and hope some people want to talk about with me too, but I gotta put it on a platform where it's like for a lot of other people to see, not just friends and family. Is this making sense? I don't know if this is making sense. Hopefully it's making sense. But I'm just learning a lot about this. And this book definitely said, like, stay on topic of what people need. And clearly, right now, you guys need a 5-MEO DMT update for, you know, reasons I could only imagine. So let's talk about psychedelics and Marissa. So I know I've said it in the past videos, but I'm going to say it again. I have not done any other psychedelics besides 5-MEO DMT, and in the comments of all my other videos, I know that it sounds like I'm just jumping into the deepest end of the ocean, which, let me zoom you guys back onto a little bit of history about myself. I am a very straight edge type of person. I've never really been into drugs or partying or alcohol. I've just been a bookworm / introvert that likes to stay in my comfort zone. So was I looking for 5-MEO DMT? Hell to the no. I actually got introduced to 5-MEO DMT from my almost 70-year-old great aunt that lives in Mexico. And she doesn't live in Mexico because she was born there. She is a white Swedish lady that decided to retire in Mexico because she loves Tulum / Playa del Carmen, and that's where she lives, and great for her. Definitely teaching me to dream big and be fearless. But she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed lady that you would just never expect would A, do 5-MEO DMT, and B, live in Mexico. So I was actually just going to her because I had my first big mental breakdown, which is why 5-MEO DMT and my mental health journey collide so much, and they helped each other so much, and now I feel like they're both working with me at this very moment. Let me stay on track though. So basically, I had been working as a personal trainer for 2.5 years, and I had been in a pretty intense relationship for 3 years at that time. And my partner, I believe, was slipping into a depression, and my job was getting very hard. It wasn't getting hard because it wasn't a job I could handle. It was because I wasn't able to organize my brain. And my brain was really working against me all the time. It's like I could have made my life so much easier if I just had different tools in my mind, and I knew that. I knew I needed to have a different perspective because I was thinking with a very shallow matrix mind. And what I mean by matrix is we have definitely been programmed to be certain types of people in this world through TV, through magazines, through the news, through just basically anything. We are programmed to believe a certain way, to behave a certain way, and yada yada yada. So a lot of things were going against me, and a fact that I've always felt like basically an alien in this world. I've never felt normal. I've never felt like I belonged here. I've always been kind of an outsider. So yeah, it's just not, my brain was just not helping me. That's the clearest photo, or the clearest thing I can say to you guys. It's just like, imagine your life is going so well, but your brain's like, no, the whole time. You're just like fighting against yourself, and no one understands why. They're like, what is your problem? And I'm like, I don't know. So yeah, full-on mental breakdown. And mental breakdowns, you don't know why they're happening, they just happen. Like, I literally could not understand why my world was falling apart, but it just was. And I ended up getting super stressed out, getting super sick, getting out of that losing that relationship because I just like couldn't even hold my thoughts together, and my whole world just collapsed. Like, that's the best way I can put it. It's like the 9/11, like, planes crashed into my building and it just all came crashing down, and I just was like, what the fuck? That's it. That's the only thing I can think when my life came shattering down. I was like, cool, what now? So I knew I needed to go someplace else and regroup my mind and rethink my life. I was like, and at this time I was very spiritual. I was so spiritual. I was getting into spirit animals. I was doing my tarot cards almost every other day. I was with my crystals. I was meditating. I was believing in signs from the universe. I was into numerology, synchronicities, just everything. I was so spiritual. So this whole journey became a very spiritual one to me, because like everything I was asking from the universe was happening, which led me to 5-MEO DMT, which made it very magical for me. So all of a sudden I was like, I need to go someplace, and I thought of my aunt who lives in Mexico where I can, you know, be safe but still travel. So I was like, hey Aunt Karen, can I please come to Mexico with my friend Ashley, blah 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 blah. So we ended up going to Mexico, and everything just aligned so weirdly and so perfectly because I just lost my job. I was super sick, you know. It's just like all the odds were against me from actually going someplace, and it actually all happened. And like literally the moment we land there, my Aunt Karen has these, it's very hard to explain the back history of these people to my Aunt Karen, but basically they're people that live with her, but they're like her sons in a sense. So they pick us up from the airport, me and my friends, and they immediately start talking about 5-MEO DMT, and I was like, what is this? Like, what are you guys talking about? And then Jose was like, oh, I'll show you videos when we get back to the house. We get back to the house and we're like watching these documentaries on this weird thing called 5-MEO DMT, and I'm just like, nah, like, nah, not for me. Have fun. Like, if you want to do that, good for you. But my friends, Ashley is very open. She's a very open-minded person. She's very universal. She is a lot more understanding of those types of things. I, like I said, was a lot more straight edge and like, no, 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 no. But I decided to just go and see the ceremony that my friend was doing that day anyway, or the next day anyway. And literally, like I said in previous videos, when I got there, it was like everything was meant to be together. Like, imagine you just go someplace, it's like everything just makes sense all of a sudden, and you know you're supposed to do it. That was the moment. Like, I had no option. I knew I had to do this. Like, it like almost felt like everything happened to lead me to that exact moment. Literally. And even as I was walking up to the little blanket he had where he was about to do this ceremony thing, I was just like, what the fudge do you think you're doing? Like, do you know who you are? But at that point, I was so tired of myself. Like, I literally hated myself that much that I was willing to do something that I would never do just to prove to myself that I could change. And I was not going to be this person my whole entire life. I was not going to be trapped in this mind of mine my whole entire life. Like, I swore to myself I was going to be a better person, and if this is what the universe wanted me to do, if this is what everyone's telling me I should just give a shot because I needed to heal, like, I can't explain how much I knew it was meant for me in that very moment. I was just so sure I had to do it. So took a leap of faith and I did it. And I think I can sit here for the rest of my life and try to explain to you guys what 5-MEO DMT feels like, but there are no words. And this is a 1.5 years later, and I still wish I could explain it to people, but it's just not something that you could ever explain to anyone. And if I could hold on to the feeling afterwards of that ceremony, I would hold on to it forever, because I have never felt so unconditional. At that exact moment after it, and several hours after it, you feel like you are just love. Like, that's the biggest takeaway you receive after 5-MEO DMT is that life is just all about love. Like, love is the answer. Love is everything. Just give love, take love. Just make love your everything. And that's when you feel safest. And unfortunately, in my childhood, I definitely did not receive enough love. That's very clear. Both of my parents are aware of it. My friends are aware of it. My significant other is very aware of it. And it's just something I've become very self-aware of, is that I got robbed from love at a very young age, but you're given a second chance in adult life to become the person you need your parents to be, and you get to give yourself the life you always wanted as a child. Like, just because you had a hard childhood does not mean it defines your whole adult life. And that's what my mental health journey is teaching me now after 5-MEO DMT. So basically, after 5-MEO DMT, love is the answer. Love is all you feel. It's amazing. It's beautiful. But after time, that emotion does go away. After a while, you do forget that feeling, because it was just 15 minutes of your life, and then several hours after. I was 22 at the time, so it's like it can't erase all 22 years, and it definitely doesn't you're not continuously high on 5-MEO DMT like every day. So as life goes on and as you get back into your life, you do kind of sometimes go back to your old ways, just because, you know, if you don't practice what you learned from that experience, you will lose it. And I think that's why lately I've been having a harder time, is because I keep forgetting to go to that place in my meditations. So what I've done after 5 MEO DMT is I just will constantly take a few moments of the day to go back to that place, to remember what that place taught me. When they say it's like the God molecule, it definitely is, because I have never had faith before 5 MEO DMT. I didn't believe in anything, really. I believed in the universe, but I didn't know what that felt like, because I didn't grow up in a church. I didn't grow up with people telling me what religion was and what I was supposed to believe in. I just kind of was a blah. That's the best way I can describe it. You just feel like blah. You don't have faith. You don't know what to talk to when you're freaking out at 2 o'clock in the morning with an anxiety attack. Like, I had no ounce of faith. And after 5 MEO DMT, I definitely felt faith for the first time. I felt hope. I felt that there was something bigger and better out there that I just wasn't aware of. So it definitely helps me believe in something. So now I do have faith, and I am able to go to something, and I call that the universe, my higher self, my angels. I believe there are angels around so many people. I believe there are angels here. I believe there is still so much here that we're so unaware of. And I think that's also what 5 MEO DMT did for me, is it made me believe in magic again. It just made me believe in so many more things that I wanted to believe in, but I wasn't sure of. It just reassured me that there is more that meets the eye here on this planet Earth. And there just is so much more that we're not aware of. So every single time now that I kind of like am hesitant about something, or don't believe something like that could ever happen, I will revert back to that place to remind myself that no, there are so many more things out here that you need to believe in. Because do you remember that place? That place was insane, and that place was real. That place, things like that can happen. So it definitely gave me a sense of faith that even though I'm not able to hold on to the exact emotion and feeling 5 MEO DMT gave me, I still have been able to form that into a form of faith and use that to help me so much more. So now when I do feel myself reverting back to something, and when I feel myself going back to some old emotions that I don't necessarily want in my life, I revert back to my newfound faith. And that has helped me tremendously. And over the past 3 weeks, I know oh my god. Even though I was having a hard time with my jealousy and things, that's when I tend to understand that I'm not practicing what I'm preaching in my videos. That's when I know I'm not being true to myself, and that's when I know I am going back to an old habit, and I have to really snap myself out of it. And thankfully I've made these videos for YouTube, but I also made them for myself. So I'll just watch my old videos and be like, yes, Marissa, that's the mindset you need to be in. Like, that is where you need to be. So it refreshes you. Like, it's like I said in my old videos, it is something that stays with you forever and ever and ever, but you can't hold on to that exact emotion. You have to remind yourself of it constantly. It's not going to change your life forever. Definitely there's an aftermath of it, and continuously opens your eyes, but you have to make sure that you do your homework after doing something like that. You have to continuously to pursue towards that journey, and it doesn't make life any easier, it just makes life easier to understand. Make sense? I hope. 5 MEO DMT is just one of those things that after it, there's a before that and there's an after that. There's these marks in your life that there was a time before and then there was a time after, and I'm just like in the after of it. Like, my whole life before just feels like it was school and it was learning experience, and now after, I'm just more self-aware of tests. Like, I know that when something stumbles in front of me, or when something happens that pushes my patience, it's just a test. Like, are you gonna fail it by giving it too much energy and getting too upset, or are you gonna pass the test by just breathing and realizing everything happens for a reason? So that is a huge takeaway that I think, like, every single time I forget something at the house, I have to turn around and go back. I'm like, maybe I'm being saved from an accident. You never know. You just never know why. There's those little hiccups in your day, but you have to be grateful for them, because you never know what's on the other side if things did go the way you wanted them to. And just, yeah, the whole flow thing. Just flow. But I have had a harder time bringing back to that experience because it has been so long now. It's been a year and a half, and it's 15 minutes of your life, and there's been so many other 15 more minutes. But it is, like I said, it's just this hope that you hold with you in your heart. Okay, so what 5-MeO DMT did do, though, is it brought my awareness to my passion of mental health. I've always been so passionate about emotions and people's brains and how people's brains operate and how to heal them and heal yourself. And, you know, I'm a person that would do anything to heal myself, and that's why I did 5-MeO DMT. As crazy as it is, I was like, if it's going to heal me, I'm willing to do it. And it has healed me in so many ways, but it's not the only thing that will heal you. You have to do so many things to heal yourself. There's so many different avenues that you have to do to take care of yourself, but it brought the awareness that it is my passion, and that's what I do want to strive for in this lifetime, is how to find a mental health program, how to build one, how to have one, how to work out my mental health, how to get stronger in my mental health, how to set mental health goals and achieve them. And that is something I will forever thank 5-MeO DMT for, or thank myself for, because 5-MeO DMT is just you introducing yourself to yourself, if that makes sense. It's just like meeting yourself for the first time and being like, oh, so I'm not this vessel. Oh, so I'm not these thoughts. I am an energy. I am a soul that is in this little body, that's in this little space and place, and I have a passion and I have a mission, and I know I came here to conquer this mission, and I don't want to waste my whole life stuck in the past. And every day I'm working towards letting go of my past and being in the now, and not even really looking in the future, just being appreciative for this exact moment, being appreciative for what I have in this exact moment. Like, I was just looking back on my whole YouTube today. I was editing a video and I'm reading this book, and I'm like, am I really working towards something that I, love and that I think is going to help people, or am I just kind of not doing anything? And then I looked at all of my titles, I looked at my videos, and I'm like, no, I'm making videos that, are trying to help people, that are trying to get a message across. And even though it's not clear at this very moment, I still have to show up for myself. I still have to show up here on YouTube every single day and work harder and work smarter and work more proficient and really teach myself how to make the most out of this lifetime, because I feel like I've wasted so many years being sad, and I'm just so tired of being sad. I definitely would never, ever, ever take it back. It's definitely one of the best things I ever did for myself. And the only point I'm trying to get at this very moment is 5-MeO DMT will change your life, but it's your job to consistently continue to change your life. It shows you the truth. It shows you exactly what you need to see. It tells you exactly what you need to do. And if you don't listen to it, that's on your end. And I, have some days where I really listen to my experience, and there's other days I completely ignore it and go back into the matrix. So I am just reminding myself today with this video to go back to that place and remember the experience it taught you, because that experience, like I said, was 15 minutes and a few hours after, and a few days after, and a few weeks after, but it doesn't stay with you consistently. You have to stay with it consistently and continue to do things like meditating and listening to binaural beats and activating that place in your brain again and really listening to that experience, because you will lose it. And I think that's why I've had a harder time with my jealousy lately, is because I keep forgetting that, no, you are exactly where you are supposed to be in this very moment. And just by me watching my old videos, I was re-motivated by the experience, because you just forget it sometimes. And I was so happy that I did it and I made those videos to remind myself of the emotion and to relive them, and it was wonderful. It was so therapeutic for me, and I just feel so much more refreshed and reminded of why I even did it and why I am in this exact moment that I'm in and doing these videos is because 5-MeO DMT was like, do it, heal yourself, heal others around you, motivate people to heal themselves, motivate yourself to heal yourself, just keep healing, like love, 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 love.